Is the Canon R6 Mark II a go-to choice for wedding gigs? Curious if it still battles with overheating? And most importantly, is it a pro grade enough for your professional projects? Well, buckle up because we're about to dive headfirst into the world of wedding filmmaking with the Canon R6 Mark II. Now, I've had the pleasure of using the Canon R6 Mark II in a variety of real-world scenarios, from capturing heartfelt moments at weddings to producing stunning imagery for commercial clients. Let me tell you, this camera does deliver some exceptional results. One of the standout features of the Canon R6 Mark II is its incredible performance in low light. Now, whether I'm shooting a dimly lit wedding venue or a nighttime commercial shoot, this camera handles challenging lighting situations with ease. I've had the privilege of filming in breathtaking cathedrals, historical churches, and even a picturesque Catholic mission, each exuding its own unique beauty. Yet amidst their grandeur, they share a common challenge, which is dim lighting. Many of these venues restrict the use of external lighting, making low light performance paramount. Last year, I encountered one of the most challenging scenarios, and I must admit, the Canon R6 Mark II truly exceeded expectations. Now, autofocus is a must in wedding film, and this is another area where the Canon R6 Mark II truly shines. Its advanced dual pixel CMOS autofocus system ensures fast and precise focusing, whether I'm shooting stills or video. This has been particularly useful during fast-paced events like weddings, where every moment counts. Now, I know that has been one of the greatest upgrades that I have felt. Plus, let's talk about battery life. With the Canon R6 Mark II, I can confidently shoot for hours on end without having to constantly worry about swapping out batteries, and I was even able to use all my previous Canon LP batteries, which was huge. Now let's talk about photography. With its high-resolution sensor and lightning-fast burst shooting capabilities, the Canon R6 Mark II is a powerhouse when it comes to capturing stunning images. This camera delivers exceptional results across the board. I really like the seamless transition this camera allows between filming and photography. And I originally purchased it for film, but I've also been able to use it for photography. And it was a key factor in my choice when I chose this camera over alternatives like the C70 or a Red camera that don't do photo and video together. Now, just recently, while covering a groundbreaking event for a real estate developer, a commercial client of mine, I was crafting some social media content for them. The R6 Mark II enabled me to effortlessly switch between capturing video footage and still photos with a mere flick of a switch. This one actually. You know, this not only boosted my efficiency, but it also spared me from the need to hire a second shooter or invest in an additional camera setup, which saved me valuable time and resources. With the R6 Mark II, we could focus on delivering top-notch content efficiently, leaving a lasting impression without any unnecessary delays. Now, when it comes to build, quality, and ergonomics, the Canon R6 Mark II doesn't disappoint. Its robust construction feels solid in the hand, while the intuitive button layout and customizable controls make it a joy to use. It was one of the things that I loved about the Canon Mark IV, how good and how easily it felt in your hand. Although it was a little bit bigger, this is a little bit smaller because it's mirrorless, but it still feels really great, especially for those really long shoots. So some of the features that I love, this is gonna get a little technical, but it's the 24.2 megapixel full frame CMOS sensor. This sensor size provides exceptional image quality and performance in low light. Not as good as the R5C would, but still really good. The camera offers 4K video recording at 60 frames per second with 10-bit color depth and the C-Log3 profile for increased dynamic range and flexibility in post-production. It also has an external 6K ProRes RAW recording, which essentially is the ability to record in ProRes RAW externally and allows for high-quality, flexible footage suitable for professional workflows. With its new shutter, the camera offers high-speed continuous shooting capabilities suitable for capturing fast-moving subjects, like a bride running away with her husband, not just kidding, or like birds or sports photography, a fight. It does have a really great built-in image stabilization as well, which compensates for camera shake. I felt like I was able to get a lot of great handheld shots and found at times where I was like running to do a bridal shoot, like after dinner, and I didn't want to take my gimbal, or I had to run to a certain area where I couldn't take a whole lot of gears. Shooting it handheld was totally good. I have the image stabilization from my lens and also internally, and it got a lot of really great smooth images. Now it also has a variable touchscreen LCD, which offers flexibility for composing shots from various different angles and provides intuitive control over the camera settings and playback. Also, it's very high resolution, which allows the electronic viewfinder to give you a detailed view of the scene, making it, you know, easier to compose shots accurately and things like that. Also really good for vlogging. I shoot some of these videos typically on this actually, and it's really great to be able to see if you're in focus or not. Now, it also has the dual memory card slots, which are these SD cards come in here, which allows for simultaneous recording or overflow recording. I have a 512 gig and also 128 gig. So it's just cool, man. I have a bunch of these. It's a lot easier with the SD cards for me personally, although I know there's benefits to having the other one. The camera features a multifunctioning shoe for attaching accessories such as microphones or lights, as well as built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity for easy sharing and remote control capabilities. Now, what about some cons about the product? What have I found in my, year of using it professionally? Well, I would say for photography, there is still a limited resolution compared to other cameras in the price range. And what I mean by that is that, it only has 22 megapixel sensor, may feel a little bit limiting for photographers who prioritize high resolution images, especially if you're, maybe shooting for a billboard or a big print. I don't typically use that, but it's nice to have. Also, there are some potential overheating concerns still. Now, I know Canon claimed to address the overheating issues with the R6 Mark II, and some users have still reported instances of overheating, particularly during prolonged 4K video recording, especially 4K at 60 frames per second in warm environments. But in my experience, and this is my experience, I was at an outdoor festival last April and I was shooting in 75-degree weather, shooting in 4K 60 frames per second, and about 45 minutes of continual recording, the overheating warning showed up. Now, it was just a little indicator, and it was a warning light that slowly progressed, so it gave you a heads up in advance. It didn't just shut it all down like if you're in the middle of a scene. But I ended up just switching to 4K 24 frames per second, and it no longer overheated, which I was able to still capture what I needed for most of the shoot of the day. So I would just say that overheating management is important to a small degree. For dynamic, fast-paced shots and captivating B-roll, I opt for the buttery smoothness of 4K at 60 frames per second. So I do need it for that. However, when it comes to capturing long form content or soulful moments of a wedding ceremony or heartfelt speeches, things that are longer, I just easily switch to the 4K at 24 frames per second. I feel like this little strategy ensures that I can capture every precious moment without any overheating hiccups along the way. And honestly, if you're just shooting B-roll, typically it's only like 20-30 minutes at a time. It shouldn't have a problem. You can always turn it off if you're not using it. That also helps. So what's the final verdict? I would say in the great sea of cameras that we have now, the Canon R6 Mark II is still a fantastic camera for professional filmmakers and photographers. It's also very impressive for social media content if you need to do photo, video quickly at the same time and respect your client's time. It also has combined versatility and ease of use, which make it a standout choice. Especially if you already are used to working with Canon, it's a really easy integration because you have your menus, your settings, you're gonna know how to use this, you're gonna know how to interpret the footage already. It's very similar to a lot of the other Canon products that I've used. I wouldn't just take my word for it. If you've had a chance to use the Canon R6 Mark II, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop some experiences or comments below and help other people find out if this is actually a good camera for them, or if you found some limitations or some areas that this camera just would not perform well for you. Go ahead and put it down so you can give a heads up for other people who are interested in buying this. Well, that's all for today, folks. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Tiago Media for more reviews, tutorials, and filmmaking tips. Until next time, happy shooting. If you're interested in a review I made about the Insta360 Go 3, check out this video.